Good evening, everyone. Just kind of wanted to do a review video, initial thoughts and impressions here, and then I'll probably do a little bit of install before and after on the some mud flaps I've got. You know, I looked hard and long and I don't know, debated back and forth quite a bit on what to go with for some mud flaps for the Mega Cab here, and I don't know, it's kind of a hard, thing, I guess. You got the custom fit ones that mold around some of the fenders, fender flares, etc. You got the hard plastic type. You got more of the rubbery type. Then you got kind of a in-between style. So, and obviously different widths, lengths, coverage on the outside of the fenders. So for this, with the road I live on, and one being a dually, trying to perfect the dually fenders as much as I can from front rocks coming out, and within 300 miles I already found a couple of rock chips actually when first time I washed this down here on the fender and of the bed. So obviously want as much coverage as possible. So out in the front, what I ended up doing is I got some that are I believe they're a 14-inch wide flap. A little bit longer than average too, so if I do end up getting a little bit of a leveling kit or getting any more height out of there, it should be in decent shape. And in the back, just kind of went with a standard, standard width. I think it's a 20, but we'll see here. So I ordered them up. I believe they're from DuraFlap, and so I'll give you guys an initial impression. I literally just cracked the box open here a moment ago and haven't pulled these out yet, so I guess let's go ahead and pull these guys out and see how they are. It's packing cardboard, so appear to be fairly well packed. Let's see here. Yeah, so there we go, DuraFlap. So let's see, we've got, see if we'll focus. So there we go. So got a DuraFlap part number. Adds 2-inch to length, 14-inch wide, pre-drilled. These are a no drill application. That's the other thing, do you want to drill, no drill? What, gosh, there's so many choices with these, but it looks like we got some stainless steel hardware. Fairly well packaged. And yeah, so what I'll do here is I'll get the rest of these out, maybe. Oh shoot, decent amount of weight to those. Get these things out and get them installed. These ones have a metal weight on the bottom to kind of keep them from flapping in the wind. I did talk to the gal at DuraFlap, and she said that the fronts typically won't flap as much, so I didn't get those with the weight. And I believe this is just, I think she said it's just a stainless color rather than a black powder coated stainless. But I guess I'll see. So what I'll do is I'll get these things unpacked here and then touch base back with you guys here in a minute. The initial impressions, I mean, they're mud flaps, right? They look like they're definitely a heavy material, and hopefully they're a material that is fairly easy to clean up too, with clay and different types of mud, so they don't just stain with that. Hopefully there's something that's not sensitive to sunlight or fading of any type as well. So they send you that. Let's see if they send anything else. All stainless hardware. Looks like some packing stuff. Oh, what's this? Down here we've got some, some of their custom artwork, which is kind of neat. Initial impressions on these are pretty nice. Sorry for the focus issue there. Some more different artwork types. I just was going for cheap and quick kind of for these, and then who knows, once I finish everything I'm planning to do to this, I'm probably going to do something a little bit different. But some more packing material, nice, decent, heavy, thickness of a box. So yeah, definitely nice folks over at DuraFlap, pretty helpful as well. So yeah, that's kind of the initial bit. So let's skip on over to a before and after. Obviously, before, nothing there. and could do an after video here in just a minute. But the little clip goes in towards it, which then grabs the inside of that factory fender liner there. So that's kind of a nice design. Overall, they give you way more hardware than you need. They just give you backup hardware for in the event you break everything on your factory stuff as you reinstall. These look to be the close to the exact same screws, if not the exact same screws as what's in the truck from the factory. So you know, when I ordered these, I was talking to the lady on the phone. I said, actually, you know, I want as much, you know, coverage in the rear and front as I can, and she said these were the ones to get, and so I got them on here. Jiminy. Initial impressions, you know, they're nice overall, good fit, but I mean, not as wide as I wanted at all. So I'm gonna have to call them here tomorrow and see. So that clip just kind of comes along the back side of the fender liner right there and attaches and kind of clamps it. So pretty nice, I think, there. Overall, you're using all factory hardware again, or the stuff that they gave you, which is identical. Back on the get over there. Back on the factory locations, but I also don't like how it kind of comes up. You know, I mean, you're missing all this for potential rock chip protection. It'd be really nice if this piece came up and into your next screw hole, and maybe even into the next. I mean, hell, if you could get some of these that went all the way around, I mean, I'd be in love. Just protect all this paint and overhang by a nice inch or so off. But as of right here, I'm like, there's no way. I mean, that this is enough. I mean, it's not a lot of coverage. So kind of show you a different angle of that again. And let's find the part number to these flaps. So these, by the way, it gives you kind of a care guide on the back. You know, wash instructions. It says to check, you know, hardware every 3 months, which I believe from my other mud flaps on other vehicles I've had, that seems like the hardware always just falls out of these. So yeah, where was the part number on these? So these are a DR20L10SSNB. So I'm sure I'm going to get dinged, but I'm going to have to call these guys and see if they got something wider, because I'm just not pleased with the rears. I'm going to give you, once again though, I mean, overall construction really nice. Wish they went up higher into the next screw at least. So I'm going to see once again if I can do that to kind of give you an idea what the other side looks like again from the factory. We've got that. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, back them on out. Literally, you take your new mud flap, and they're not difficult, but I mean, if you had somebody just, you know, standing around and they wanted to hold that flap up for you as you screw them in, you know, that'd be a nice hand too. So not bad. And then, like I said, it just, that plastic clips on right there and clamps on the back and holds them on. So I'm pretty impressed with the mounting. Suppose, I mean, if you needed to, you could even put it like a stainless steel self tapper through in a couple spots and kind of suck it down even more. But I don't think you'd need to. So I'm going to get the fronts on and touch back after those, and hopefully the fronts are as wide as I'd want them, and I don't have to try and do some returning, exchanging, whatever, reselling stuff on Craigslist or something to unload these. But yeah, pretty excited to get the fronts on and see how they look. Alright, so we're back. Got the front one on here. Much better coverage off to the side. So that is nice. Nice. I it'd be nice if it went up to the next screw in here, but I mean, overall, pretty happy with the length. I mean, yeah, just overall real happy with how the fronts sit. So I'll give you a little bit better perspective there, but nice. I like it. Now let's just grab the tape here and we'll see what our measurements are from the ground. So we got about 6.5 down there at the bottom, and then here at the top almost a 2-inch overhang. So I do like that. Plenty of coverage off and allowing me room for future growth, if you know what that means, you know what I mean. These were a lot more of a fuss to get on, finagling with, but overall still happy with them. One thing with these, the rears, I used the factory hardware. On these ones, the factory hardware, they say you can reuse it, but they're a lot different. So for example, our factory hardware is a lot shorter than what the stuff is that came with, or what they give you. So for example there, kind of hard to see, sorry about that. If I stand them up, you can see the new ones, the stainless ones on the right, a little bit more length there. So I ended up using the I did not use the factory hardware for the fronts. I used the hardware that they give you there, the stainless. Just a little bit more length, made it a lot easier. I mean, I was fighting with using these for a while, and then finally I'm like, oh, let's see if the ones they give you there are a little bit longer, and sure enough they are. So that helps a lot. And overall, pleased with the hardware they give you. Let's see, the little tab, little nipple, little I don't know what you want to call it, just a little nipple tab that kind of goes up behind here. Not that difficult to get in there. They tell you to put this bolt in facing this direction in the instructions. I might flip it around and face it that way. Further, the kit does not give you, I mean, it's, you know, it's a, they don't give you a lock, an eye lock or anything like that, which I think would be nice here. So I might get an extra washer and throw an eye lock on this one, or just washer, lock washer, nut, and stainless. And I think I actually have some sitting over here, so I might just do that, because this just gives you a flat, let's see, where is it? Just gives you one of these, nut with a washer included on it with a flange there. You know, they're whatever, ribbed, I guess you could call them locking, but with this surface being ribbed already, I don't think that would lock in there very well. And I hate hardware coming off on mud flaps, because it seems to happen all the time on the Super Duty. I did throw some little bit of blue Loctite on there as well, but like I said, I think I'm just going to back it off and then put a big fender washer in there, and yeah, just get it a little bit more sucked down. So view from the back side here, there's a little clips onto the inside plastic liner quite nicely, give you a little bit of light here. There you go. So yeah, pretty nice product overall. So I would at this point recommend these DuraFlaps, and say that you probably can't go wrong with them. For as wind resistance, I think they will blow a little bit in the wind, but I don't think they'll be terrible. I mean, the weights might help, so I guess we'll see. Like these are a little bit low in the front, but I kind of want them that way for, like I said, future use. And I'm definitely not going to be doing a ton of any type of early off-road driving with this pickup for at least the foreseeable future. If I gotta tow the gooseneck on any type of rough roads, I'll definitely be using the Super Duty there instead, and keep this as more like highway towing, long haul type towing for sure. So I think that length will be good and sufficient for now, keeping all the damn rocks up from hitting anything under there as well. And I guess they are flexible enough that if, you know, they hit something, they are gonna give. I mean, they're not dead solid, you know, by any stretch of the imagination. So now I just got to try and get something that sticks out about 2 inches in the back. So there's the flap in the back. Doesn't stick out at all. I'm disappointed. So I have to call them up tomorrow and maybe see what I can order up that would be a little bit more fitting, and maybe throw these up on, hopefully, I doubt they'll take them back for obvious reasons, but maybe throw them on Craigslist, or see maybe if they'll give me you know, even 50% credit for these and get them swapped out. And hopefully they've got a product available that's gonna be a lot wider in the back for a little bit better coverage for obviously the truck itself, but also trailers. So, well, I'll touch base back when I've got some more information for these, but there they are, the DuraFlaps on the initial install. And I know I asked the lady on the phone if I got the stainless piece in the back and not the black one, if it was possible to, you know, remove it and paint it, and she said no. And this looks like a piece of cake to me. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe there's some secret thing going on back here I just don't see. But pulling this guy off and getting it powder coated or painted, what have you, in a specific color doesn't seem bad. So, because there's probably going to be some color changes in the future on this pickup, and I think this would be a piece that'd be nice to do some color matching on. So that's what I got for now, and on to the next clip. Here we are a few weeks later, almost a month actually, because I've been busy and out of town, and anyways, it took me a while to do a exchange for those other ones that they had sent, and now I've got some custom fit ones. Should be a lot better than the other ones. So here they are. I'm going to get these unwrapped and mounted up and see how they look. Should be pretty nice. The customer service with DuraFlap, I mean, I am very impressed with them. One of the guy who actually cut these out on the CNC, he picked up the phone and took the time to call me and basically make sure everything sounds and looks right from the measurements that I sent in before he cut them out. I'm kind of glad he did, but super nice guy, gave me some good information. And one thing that he had told me that I wish they would advertise on their site, but they do offer a flap that goes kind of a long john style up and around. So probably I'm going to run these for a while, but I might do something like that eventually. That way, get some real good coverage for the dirt roads, the rock roads, and that way, not getting a bunch of rock chips. So we'll see. I'm going to get these mounted up and see how they look. Okay, and here we are about 10 minutes later. Got the rear flaps on. I like the offset of these, and allows me for future growth, if you know what I mean. That'll also protect the trailer real nice, and I'm just thrilled to have these things. I mean, they look a little bit goofy right now, as wide as they are with the wheel and tire setup, but like I said, that'll probably change. So I guess overall, highly recommend these guys to anybody so far. Obviously, would have to see how they are in the real world. Now, as far as when the gentleman had called me from DuraFlap when he was cutting these out on the CNC, he recommended I put one extra bolt into the wheel liner there, so I did that, this guy here, and that way it should keep it a little bit tighter with these being the 24-inch wide flaps. And one other thing on note, nothing that's a big deal, but this outside nut or nylock was a little bit loose. It was just barely threaded on, so not even finger tight when I got these, so I just tightened that guy back up. But they ship these with a nice protective film you peel off on there, so I think I might pull these off eventually and maybe do some paint and color match, see if I can do something different on there rather than the stainless. I'm just not a chrome stainless kind of guy, so hopefully well, that kind of leads into the next things. Hopefully get rid of all this chrome crap, which apparently is more difficult than I would have thought, even going over to the good old Fiat Chrysler Ram Dodge dealership. Those guys are a pain. But anyways, so these flaps, recommend them. Would not hesitate to buy them again, and we'll see how much they sell as you know, when I'm going 70 miles an hour down the highway, if at all. But yeah, hope you found this informative.